And after a year, the next year, I still persisted through trying to convince my parents. The second year was, bringing my friends over who had bikes already, and they would walk up into my house. I'd invite them inside, and I would get them talking to my parents. I'll get them talking to my parents about them riding, how they get to and from uni. We would talk about their gear they had, just to make them feel comfortable that they are safe. They provide a good a good representation of motorcycles. And that first thing, and the sort of bringing friends over for the second part. And up until 6 months prior to getting my license, my actual license, I started buying gear. And up until then, I'd do my research about what kind of gear I was gonna get, what brands were good, what shops to go to online versus going a walk-in store. And my first piece of kit that I purchased was an RJ's helmet, Dominator, I think it was called, and a matching RJ's leather jacket. I forget the name, but yeah, on the way home, I would be wearing the leather jacket and holding the big ass box under my arm. And as I walked through the front door of my house, my mom was there doing something. She pretty much just said, "What?" No, she didn't. Yeah, she knew it was coming. She knew it was coming, but so she just walked past me and they think nothing of it. But I think what makes me special needs, is that night, the first day I brought her home, I wore my gear to bed. Yes, I wore my helmet, I wore my leather jacket to bed. Yes, it was fucking uncomfortable. Yes, I was sweating as fuck. But holy shit, for 10 years, let's say 4 years of actually of the right age to think about riding a motorcycle, I went to bed with my gear, and it was the sweetest dream. Oh, it's not a dream, it's a reality. The sweetest dream, not dream, motherfucker, sweetest sleep ever. I woke up with a sore neck, bed wet, I woke up, I woke up neck sore, in pain, but fucking loved it. The sweet smell of leather, the protective casing on top of my head. Oh, sweet Bertha, give me more! Shortly after that, bought gloves, riding jeans and boots, which were secondhand, but they were pretty legit boots. And I had all my gear about 3 months before actually getting a motorcycle. So I went and did my test. I had my helmet, gloves, jacket, pants, and just, and I didn't have the boots at the time, but I went and did my test, passed it was fine. And I bought the bike a couple months later. Yeah, I brought it home, and make sure when you buy a bike, you just make your parents completely comfortable with it. So I brought a bike. I showed my parents around. it, and I took them for a quick walk around. Told them what parts were which, and just make them feel comfortable that I was confident at all the parts of the bike. And then I got it. Looks like an SV. Years. and it was a hard battle for 3 years, but at the end of the day, I'm still on 2 wheels, and that's all that matters. Hey man, are you local? Harris.
Kelly.
Hey?
Kelly.
Hey?
Good to meet you.
Yeah.
You nearby?
Newish. Really should have like business cards attached to my bike, maybe on my fairing here, so that when I meet bikers near where I live, instead of like, you know, telling them my name and all that, I'd give them my card. I'd give them my card so that, you know, they would give me a text and whatever, and we could meet up for a ride. Because there's plenty of people here that ride, and it's just trying to find out who they are and indicate, brother, so they know what you're doing. Indicate, asshole.